Swati's story of creating alternative beliefs. Welcome to another session where I'll walk you through a story of one of my clients who gave me permission to share one piece from her entire coaching assignment that could help you gain knowledge, awareness, and what could be the best means and methods you could use if you find yourself in similar situations. Meet Swati. She has 10 plus years in the IT industry, a mid senior level professional. But as on today, you will find her that she's extremely confused of what she needs to do next in her life. She's a bit demotivated as well with her job, with her personal life. And everywhere, whether it is her job or her personal life, she's just constantly exploring new things because somehow she finds herself a bit dissatisfied with almost every domain of her life. And this is a reason why she's also quite disengaged at her work. When we did our discovery coaching session with Swati, it actually went in for an hour and a half. And this is what I really was able to find in our session. This side, I have written what I found after speaking with Swati and the narratives that she shared with me. And this is on your left-hand side is my a snapshot of what I found. So while she gave a very detailed account of why is it that she feels so dissatisfied and annoyed and irritated, these are some of the dominant emotions that Swati has been feeling for quite a long time now. She's irritated, confused, stressed, overwhelmed, anxious, doubtful. And in a nutshell, she's seeking clarity and direction. And basis on the narration that she shared with me, this is going on for almost 3 years now. And living in such a stressful mode, one of the reasons I found out why is it that she didn't do anything about it, when I asked her the very reason for her inaction, I was quite surprised because it's not like Swati did not really tried something to help herself. But what I really found was she lacked complete awareness of the very right mechanisms that one would need, especially working professionals, when we find ourselves in our life reeling under crisis and going through all these feelings. And we are not going through these feelings just for a week or a day. It's been like a long time, and it's been showing up now in your personal life, in your workspace, with your parents, with your friends, with your partner. And we just can't make out what is it that I should do to find a way out of the mess that I find myself in. This is exactly how Swati felt, Swati was experiencing on account of lack of awareness of what she needs to do next. I gave her this, I call this the 3-step method. It's a very simple one, but I personally believe, friends, that simple is very powerful. We often underestimate the power of simple tools. So the 3-step method that I shared with Swati to help her first get out of her confused state of mind was to first understand what's the problem, because she couldn't really point out or put her finger on what really was wrong with her in her life. Then, what's beneath the whys that she had? There were a lot of shoulds and whys in her life, in her narration that I found. So I helped her with certain tools which gave her what's beneath the problem. And finally, we arrive at what could be the best alternative that Swati could find for her own self. Now, this is where the power of coaching comes in, which in which through the tools that we help our clients with, they themselves come up with the best alternative solutions for their own self. So my role as a job as a coach, my job is to facilitate, to empower my client, and they are the best people to come up with the best alternative for their issues, regardless of how complex it could be. And this is exactly what happened in case of Swati also. For more details on what's the problem or what's beneath, I also have a podcast session that I had recorded exclusively on this. I'm going to share the link in the description box of this video, and you can go through all that I have written in there. But in the podcast, I have shared my own examples from my life. In case of Swati, I just want to share with you just one piece of the permission that I had received from her, which is when we worked down on what is the best alternative. So once we figured out what the problem was and we understood the whys behind Swati's issue, the problem, we then went into the third method of rewriting her negative mindset, her limiting beliefs, and finding the best alternative that she could use to find her way out of the problem that she was in. Here's an example of the beliefs she held and the alternative belief to that. So we began with, like from her narration, I just took one slice of it, and here's what you see on your screen. It's That's what Swati wrote in her own verbatim. She felt she was not good enough, and there were some areas in that complex project, a very, very expensive one with very high stakeholders, where she had her own doubts on her potential, and she never thought she deserved the kind of authority, money, prestige, and responsibility she got through that project. This limiting belief of Swati is not something that surfaced up only because of a project that he was hired into, but of the many years of her upbringing years, of her childhood years, and the various events and experiences which had fed her mind into believing and doubting her own potential. There were many narrations and stories to it which actually supports why Swati really wrote and felt this way. And then, with the help of certain tools, while I helped her and assisted her, she herself found the alternative beliefs where finally she arrived at the power of telling her own self how single-handedly she can lead that project. And since she has done that in the past, already had delivered successfully various and more complex projects than this, she can even do it now. Friends, through this simple story and just one slice from the story, what I'm trying to share here with you all is with an intention to let you know we all have a plethora of experiences in our life right from our childhood. And sometimes when we find ourselves, despite being successful leaders, we get stuck in certain areas in our workspace. And sometimes we even also get stuck in our personal life. And when we face some kind of a crisis or a challenge or a hardship, be it in our workspace or in our personal life, these indoctrinated beliefs that we've been carrying from our childhood, our young years, of what we've been told, are at play, which fuels in us the confidence we need to lead things in our life, wherever it is. In case of Swati, she had 2 to 3 very negative incidents in her personal life, some sudden crisis she went through, and which filled her up with a very different set of beliefs about her own self and potential. And that was precisely at play in the present given day opportunity, where she felt demotivated, disengaged, and completely doubting her own potential, despite of the fact that she has successfully delivered way more complex projects than this. So when I helped her with the use of a certain tools to understand where and why she was going wrong, and why is it that she was not really able to feel engaged at work and constantly exploring things because she was not satisfied, she then got to the root of the issue. And once she got to the root of the issue, she was able to craft her own alternative belief. This is how my program Journey of Self works. Anyone who embarks on a journey of self with me and enroll with me, they would go through an intensive transformative sessions, empowering them with tools to navigate the most difficult and challenging situations of their life and finding their own solutions through their own self. Now, as on day to day, Swati is very happy in her space because she is being able to understand where it is all coming from and how to deal with it. This is just one simple case. But if you find yourself in similar situations just like that of Swati, I suggest you check the apply and enroll and book your call with me so that I could help you find clarity and direction in the crisis that you've been living in for years, not being aware of that there are simple yet powerful tools that can help you find a way out of your crisis. Before I explain you what really the journey of self includes and gives you a summary of it, I just want to pause here and ask you a question. If just like Swati, if it resonates with you and you've been also having some kind of similar situation in your life, going through crisis, hardships, or perhaps just like Swati, reeling under stress for like 3 years at a stretch, being confused, lacking engagement at work, constantly exploring things, feeling irritated, confused. I just want to ask you, what is the cost of inaction? In case of Swati, she was unaware. It's not that she didn't really was aware of the right methods. And the moment she found the right way out, she sought help. So my question is for all those very similar to Swati, you and me, if you could pause and think about a problem that you've been stuck in for years and years, and you were unaware and still not taking action on it, can you just pause and write down what is the cost of inaction if you still would want to continue to stay stuck in it? Having written your answer, then ask yourself, are you ready to pay the price? If you still feel you can somehow, with your trial and error methods, do it all by yourself. I leave you with this, and let's now quickly learn about my program, Journey of Self. Here I present to you this Journey of Self. This coaching program I have developed basis on the things I have learned my way, and this is an extension of my expertise to help anyone just like me in the age group of early 30s to around mid 40s, finding themselves in deep crisis, or perhaps not really knowing what to do when they are either experiencing a setback or a sudden crisis. Now, this signature program of mine, just the way I was helped, would help anyone, beginning with the present day challenge that they are in, helping them really find their way through these 7 phases to where exactly they want to be. The overall theme of this program is into 7 phases. And as you see it on the screen, every phase has a sub theme underneath it, which step by step we would together build your resilience muscle. In my previous video, I had mentioned that I had introduced a short-term and a long-term program. But after some discussions, there's a slight change in that, wherein now I would keep this only for 3 months. And just the way I was helped, I extend my support and help to anyone seeking to build their resilience. So here's what happens when you apply and enroll with me. I call this the triple C, coach consultation call. So if you're interested to explore this with me, the first thing you do is you have the link given in the description box, and you'll find it also on my website. You fill in the application form. It's actually a Google survey form with some set of questions. Now, this questions basically is to help me, your coach, understand how best can I be of help to you. So this is the very idea here is to help you, and I can help you best only when I understand and get an idea of what kind of help you need. So the application form has a set of questions you need to answer, submit. Based on the details you have shared, your call is scheduled by me, and the call is for a 60 to a 90 minute. It can vary in time depending on our discussion, which then within the call, you will be put across to a specific methodology that I have designed and created, helping you and helping me. How it helps you is it helps you experience how life coaching works, and it helps me check whether I'm the right coach for you, because I believe I want to really add that value to the trust you repose in me when you sign up with me. So I usually check fitment, and at times there could be issues where are beyond my scope of work, and I may just redirect you to the right resource, because I think each one of us deserve the best. So not necessary that coaching is the right answer for you. So I may redirect you, but if everything goes well, you enroll. And we start. Here's the resource referral. Basically, this is where I was talking about when the fitment is not, uh, where we realize that the person is not the right fitment, and I may just give you a resource to refer to, which can be of more help than me as your coach. Otherwise, we enroll, and then from this, from the resource referral, this is when there's no fitment found, and otherwise it's enrollment. And from here, the final step here is the coaching journey. Your journey of self begins here. Thank you. And I look forward to having a quick conversation with you. Thank you.